We are going to be a couple of miles to the east of Lawrence, probably 3 or 4 miles east of Lawrence now, and taking a look at some of the damage here. Look at the trees down, uprooted totally. There is one to the right, used to be a house there where the white pickup is.
This is certainly one of the most significant tornadoes we have seen.
Right now it's very challenging to look at it and know that this was their life's work and their piece of heaven on earth, and now it's damaged, destroyed, and the landscape will never be the same. That's the latest. Live in Lawrence, Brian Johnson, KNBC 9 News.
And it's only going to get worse as the sun rises tomorrow morning.
These are people who right now are looking at what's left and wishing they could wave a magic wand and make it go away, but it unfortunately doesn't work that way.
I'm Stephen Lee, and my position is I'm a disaster mental health worker, and one that just goes out into the community and sees what help people need. Yesterday we came in this down this 1000 road and stopped at all the houses that were destroyed or partially destroyed and talked to the folks and kind of made sure they were okay health-wise, and then of course asked them about how their stress level was and with how they were coping with the disaster. Basically, people are doing pretty well. But we didn't cover all of the places that were destroyed or partially destroyed in this region, so we're going to do that today. I'm Steve Lee with the Red Cross.
We're all fine. The only thing left up there is a couple trees that, because of danger.
Yeah. So how are you guys coping with this?
Actually pretty good. It's amazing when you're in a situation like this and you just think, well, okay, I know what I have to do here to start off, and you just kind of slog through, and doesn't do any good to get emotional about it. No. You just slog forward. That's right.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Let me give you this thing, little in case you need it. Some things that happen to folks when they've been in a disaster, and some action you can take there. If it turns out that you need them, there's also a hotline here.
Sure.
On the bottom you can call. It's 24/7. People will always answer. And sometimes not in the first immediate few days. Yeah. It's later on that something
it catches up with you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear about that with PTSD, of course, is the thing you hear so much about. That people months or years later, the emotional effect of it suddenly hits them.
It does. Yeah. In this deployment, much like the other deployments, are to find out what are some of the risk factors. First of all, we start with assessment. What are some of the risk factors that play a role in whether or not people will be able to cope with and handle any disaster? And some of those things are whether or not they have family, whether or not they have friends that they can go to, whether or not we ask about their pets. Pets are a big deal to a lot of people. We ask about their medications and those kinds of things that if they don't have them can really increase the risk that they'll have trouble coping with the new disaster.
No, my husband and I live here with our dog and cat, and we all survived.
All survived.
And you were here at the time.
We were here at the time, yes. I grew up here, and so, we kind of are a little hesitant sometimes about going in the safe room, but I felt like they gave us a lot of warning this time, and I felt comfortable about getting in there.
How are you coping with this?
Today's a pretty good day for us. I felt like we've got a lot accomplished in the last few days. We have had so many friends and family, and the Red Cross has been so available, and people volunteering that it's just so humbling to know that people come and help you, and we've had tons of people working. And
a little handout we have for
great.
Taking care of yourself and others in a disaster. But there's just some strategies for coping, some reactions that we typically see, and some things you can do. And then probably the number one thing is to lean on your family and your friends, your neighbors, because it's that support that'll help you get through. That's one big thing. I think the other thing is to understand what sort of coping strategies you've used in the past. And that's something we do a lot of. Talk to them about, well, what have you done in the past to be able to handle stressful situations? Then remind them about that. We know that about 85% of the individuals who experience a disaster will also be able to problem solve during it and go back to pre-disaster coping. And so most people do well. And for any kids, there's a thing on the back here. You don't have any children right now, but grandkids or anybody you know.
I have a 6-year-old granddaughter that's kind of struggling with it.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, so I appreciate this very much.
I'm gonna go get a